Please be seated. Can you please silence your cell phones also, please? Friends, families, parents, students, faculties, members of the Board of Trustees, and members of the graduating class of 2018, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 21st commencement of Vermont Commons School. During this ceremony, it is our tradition to honor student achievement in the intellectual and creative disciplines, community members who have made great contributions to the school and the world, and especially the effort and achievement of our senior class. I would like to introduce our head of school, Dexter Mahaffey.
In invocation for our seniors upon their graduation, a poem from Rabindranath Tagore called Closed Path. I thought that my voyage had come to its end, at the last limit of my power, that the path before me was closed, that provisions were exhausted, and the time come to take shelter in a silent obscurity. But I find that will knows no end in me, and when old words die out on the tongue, new melodies break forth from the heart, and where the old tracks are lost, new country is revealed with its wonders. At commencement, we take time to honor the hard work and success of our 8th graders in completing middle school. In the same spirit that we present walking sticks to our graduates to send them on our journey, we welcome our 8th graders to high school by presenting them with compasses as symbols of the knowledge now to come that will help them find their way. The graduating class of 2018 will now present our 8th graders with their compasses. Please come up when I call your name. Will Emma present a compass to Magnus Ames and C.C. Hines? Will Bryn present a compass to Riley Bagnato and Zoe Hecht? Will Graham present a compass to Ellie Blackburn and Ruslan Henry? Will Sammy present a compass to Nathan Brown? Will Nick Bortsfield present a compass to Leo Sarandos? Will Jacob present a compass to John Bingle? Will Xavier present a compass to Gracie Clark? Will Jalen present a compass to Owen Edgecombe? Will Megan present a compass to Tess Foley Cox? Will Eliza present a compass to Quinn Lansbury? Will Anna present a compass to Finnegan McGowan? Will Nick Montaigne present a compass to Sam Nichols? Will Nick Filippo present a compass to Remy Schultz? Will Matt present a compass to Astrid Teamer? Perhaps a bit later. Will Beckett present a compass to Jordan Townsend? Will Cameron present a compass to Finn Verdunk? Will all members of the 8th grade class please stand and receive our applause? At commencement, we also award bronze, silver, and golden turtles according to years of attendance to our senior class. A golden turtle for students who have spent 6 years with us at Vermont Commons School, and this will shift not that far down the road to 7. A silver turtle for 4 years with us, and a bronze turtle for 3 or fewer years. The 6th graders will now present the seniors with their turtles. Please come up when I call your name. Will Joey Clark present the gold turtle to Emma Bell? Will Julian Andrus present the gold turtle to Nick Bortsfield? Will Duncan McMurray present the bronze turtle to Sammy Brown? Will Maggie Luschner present the silver turtle to Graham Byers? Will Zengmu Lama Sherpa present the gold turtle to Jacob Decatur? Will Allie McIsaac present the silver turtle to Xavier Ferris? Will Talia Gibbs present the gold turtle to Jalen Gibbs? Will Ira Siegel present the silver turtle to Megan Hosmer? Will Joey Clark present the gold turtle to Eliza Jackson? Will Toby Hecht present the silver turtle to Anna Kusero-Lair? Will Henry Van Gilder present the gold turtle to Nick Montagna? Will Frankie Fiddler present the silver turtle to Bryn Mills? Will Duncan McMurray present the bronze turtle to Nick Filippo? Will Ira Siegel present the silver turtle to Matt Rambone? Will Maggie Luschner present the silver turtle to Beckett Richardson? And will Toby Hecht present the bronze turtle to Cameron Starkey? Each year, the Founders Alumni Award is awarded to a former Vermont Commons School graduate who has embodied the school's mission in his or her life's work. This year, the dedication of the Founders Award is read by Mary Hamilton and given by founder of Vermont Commons School and former head of school, Dr. Robert Skiff.
You come over here with Bob, or Bob can come over there with you. They haven't seen each other in a while. So this year's Founders Award goes to Mika Hollander, who graduated in 2005. Each year, the alumni community and faculty vote for an alum that best lives the Vermont Commons mission in their post-VCS life. We're pleased this year to announce that Mika Hollander is the recipient of this year's award. Sheila is here to gather it for Mika because Mika's on her honeymoon, which is awesome. While at Vermont Commons, Mika was known as innately inquisitive, with a quick mind and a smile and sparkle in her eye that made you think she knew something that you didn't. After graduating from VCS, Mika went on to attend NYU, where she received a BA in socially responsible business. She then received an MBA from the NYU Stern School in strategy and social impact. Soon after, Mika joined forces with her dad, Jeffrey Hollander, founder of Seventh Generation, to co-found Sustain Natural, where she is co-CEO and chief marketing officer. Sustain Natural's mission is to celebrate, educate, and support women by providing the all-natural products, knowledge, and inspiration they need to take control of their sexual health. Sustain does this while supporting workers' rights, protecting the environment, and giving 10% of its pre-tax profits to support women's reproductive health care. It's this commitment to the environment and people's health, along with some savvy PR, that has brought Mika the honor of being featured in Inc. magazine, Cosmopolitan, Teen Vogue, in the Forbes magazine Top 30 Entrepreneurs Under 30, among others. Along with her family legacy, Mika credits VCS with keeping her connected to the environment, a connection that helped motivate her to create a business that completely disrupts the norm, reinventing the condom manufacturing supply chain to be as sustainable as possible. As I said, Mika can't be here today, and so Sheila, we're delighted to have Sheila here back in our four walls. It's been a while to receive the Founders Award for her, and Sheila would like to say a couple words for Mika.
Thank you.
Well, I'll wait over here.
Okay. I just have a few words. Mika really would have loved to have been here. She's very honored by this award, and she had the following to say to the graduates. Vermont Commons believes in engagement not only with those around you, but with the world as a whole. So what I'd like you all to take away with you today is to never give up engaging in what matters to you. I don't care where you live or what your job is. Never forget what you care most about and never give up on pursuing what makes you happy. Congratulations.
Each year, the George and Pamela Starbuck Award is awarded to a current student who has made outstanding contributions to Vermont Commons School. This year, the dedication of the Starbuck Award is read by Dean of Students, Heather Moore.
So I'm really hoping that I surprise the parents as well as the student in giving this award. So since the Vermont Commons School opened in 1997, we have seen students whose energy, leadership, and kindness set them apart. Each year, we recognize one of them with the George and Pamela Starbuck Award for outstanding contribution to the community. From the first days of renting us an office and a couple of classrooms to eventually selling us the building and supporting its complete renovation, George and Pamela Starbuck have shown unparalleled commitment, enthusiasm, and spirit of generosity to Vermont Commons School. epitomizing in every way the award which bears their name. This year, we recognize a student who has, in word and action, followed in the Starbucks footsteps. Jalen Gibbs came to us as an exuberant, excited, outgoing 7th grader. Jalen came to us already a conscientious, thoughtful human being. Today, 6 years later, Jalen has grown up to exemplify all that we hope our students embody when they graduate. Jalen is consistently helpful, caring, and kind. He volunteers even when his plate is already full. His attitude towards service is the same whether or not there is any chance of an award or recognition. He simply has integrity through and through. We have seen this integrity in academics and all of his relationships in our community. I don't believe that I have ever heard him say a negative thing about anyone, and I believe that this is due to his ability to see the best in everyone. He strives to reach a bar that he sets for himself, a bar that is often high above what his teachers expect. In that vein, Jalen is one of the hardest workers I've ever met. This work ethic goes beyond our walls. In Belize, he participated in every opportunity to engage and explore, raising the level of adventure and learning for everyone involved. In New Orleans, he worked hard every single day on the houses for Habitat for Humanity. Jalen always has a smile for everyone and effortlessly mentors younger students as a role model. Jalen is a great ambassador for VCS, whether congratulating an opponent on the volleyball court, welcoming a new member to our community, or taking all aspects of Model UN seriously. Jalen, we feel lucky to have had you in our lives for your middle and high school careers. At this time, I'd like to ask Pamela, Mike, and Susan Starbuck to come forward and present Jalen with this year's Starbuck Award.
At this time, we confer departmental awards in recognition of exceptional performance by any student from across the grades in each of our academic disciplines. Matt David will now present the award on behalf of the Fine Arts Department.
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart once said, "It is a mistake to think that the practice of my art has become easy to me. I assure you, dear friend, no one has given so much care to the study of composition as I." In the VCS Arts Department, we focus on constantly practicing, not just practicing an instrument or your photography, but listening and finding new meaning in what's happening in the world around you, seeking out the inspiration to find new challenges and in turn honing your craft. With this spirit of having the initiative to learn new skill and teach himself ways to take his abilities to the next level, this year's recipient will step up and meet the challenge of anything laid in front of him, arranging songs for various ensembles in Note Flight, programming a blog for music and social change RNS from scratch, working hard as a stagehand at our charity concert. This summer, he will be attending the prestigious Governor's Institute of Vermont. It is with pleasure that I, on behalf of the faculty, award the Arts Department Award for the 2017-18 year to Benjamin Poulin.
Peter Goff will now present the award on behalf of the Science Department.
Part of science is the accumulation of objective knowledge. Some scientists find that that's their passion. But for others, it's the opportunity to apply that knowledge that drives them. This year's Science Award winner demonstrated mastery of scientific principles, creativity, and small group leadership. But for all of his academic success, it is what he did outside the classroom that set Benjamin Poulin apart this year. When Benjamin demonstrated his self-designed game system at morning meeting, he clearly showed his technical artistry. Benjamin will be participating in the Governor's Institute of Vermont program in information technology and digital media this summer, and we look forward to seeing what he creates next year with these newly acquired skills. Congratulations, Benjamin.
Christy Howell will now present the award on behalf of the English department.
This year's winner of the English Award is an intensely analytical thinker. For her, everything deserves mulling over. Her writing is full of nuance and revelation. A few times this year, when assigned a choice reading book, she'd often ask if she could read 2 or 3 of the choices, simply out of interest. On a recent story assignment, she wrote 111 pages in 10 days when the assignment called for 4. And if you've ever heard her read Shakespeare aloud, it's as if she was born to do it, infusing meaning into each word of As You Like It, and bringing life to Rosalind, Orlando, and especially Phoebe. She is versatile, however, because her slam poems show that it's not just the bard's words that flow out of her. Lila Nider may not think of herself as destined for a future in literature, but she certainly puts in the time, brings critical thinking, and sparkles with originality, and we want to honor this bright side of her today with our award in English.
Deanna Geyer will now present the award on behalf of the Mathematics Department.
Mathematics at Vermont Commons School is built on foundations of arithmetic, geometry, number theory, data analysis, and problem solving. The emphasis is not simply on conquering difficult arithmetic computations, but on discovering patterns in our environment and describing them in a new language. To achieve mathematical fluency, students must be willing to struggle with a problem, use their intuition, persevere through many attempts at a model, and effectively communicate their ideas to others. The Distinguished Achievement Award in Mathematics is given to the student who most consistently exemplifies these principles. This year we have 2 recipients. The first student is receiving this award for giving the most effort to become a successful mathematician, as well as demonstrating the biggest growth and improvement as a mathematician. This student has never come to class unprepared, not even one problem missing. She always figured it out, even if it meant to looking up the topic online and researching on her own how to solve a problem. This student has not only excelled at completing the assignments, but her hard work paid off once it was time for assessments, earning the best grades in her class. There have been multiple times where I have used her work, her reasoning for class discussions to extend her peers' reasoning. When there is time for class and learning, she's fully tuned in, taking meticulous notes that she then uses to help her complete more challenging problems. When faced with challenge, she doesn't ask questions until she has persevered and struggled for a while, or even went home and tried to figure it out again for herself. These incredible mature mathematical habits and practices distinguish the student from others. I think that this student still thinks to some extent that she's not good at math. On contrary, her consistently hard work and perseverance is a great example that everyone can become whatever they put their mind to, even that it might not be their initial or natural strength. It is with great joy and pleasure that I present this year's award to Helena Radok. The second recipient of Mathematics Award is an exceptional mathematician in many ways. What sets him apart from the others is his sincere excitement and enthusiasm about learning new concepts, love for discovering new ways to solve problems, constant questioning and testing, and finally proving his conjectures like a professional mathematician. He has come with new methods throughout the year how to solve problems and perform certain operations with polynomials. Just one of the examples is his special secret formula. This is a formula that you can use to figure out a quotient of two polynomials without doing long division or synthetic division. One student commented out loud, "How do you come up with this stuff?" It is a pleasure to listen to and watch how this student sees the patterns in math through a different lens than I have ever experienced students see in the past. Another part that makes this student stand out is his unselfishness in the learning process. He's always eager to explain his thinking and reasoning to his peers and to help them extend their reasoning. Simultaneously, he's also an amazing listener of his peers' strategies, never arrogant to think that his way is the best way, but ready to learn from his peers as well. I do know, and probably everybody around this student knows, that math is his favorite subject, but that is not why this student is receiving this award. Simply, the love for math and seeing its beauty in its purest form makes this student an excellent mathematician. It is with great joy and pleasure that I present this year's Math Award to Zach Hines.
Mark Klein-Lucy will now present the award on behalf of the Social Studies Department.
All right, it's better. From the many talented students who grace our classrooms, the Social Studies Department never finds it easy to choose just one for this award. Some students excel at our discipline through hard work, some through thoughtful insight, some through an earnest desire to understand the world and to make it a better place for all. The student we celebrate today embodies all of these traits. I still remember this student from an open house 2 years ago, where she marched right up to me to talk history. And as we talked, her eyes sparkled. That same light shines in her eyes every time she discusses her research paper with me, stays after class to continue a political discussion, or leads the school in common hour presentations on human rights issues from political amnesty to LGBTQ rights. It is with great pleasure that the faculty of the Social Studies Department confer the 2018 Award for Distinguished Achievement in Social Studies to Sama Mahdi.
I see. Adriana, this is important. Adriana Comtois will now present the Spanish Award on behalf of the World Languages Department.
Oh, man. Okay, we'll try this.
This award recognizes the student who has demonstrated academic excellence throughout the year in the study of Spanish and has consistently gone beyond the usual requirements. Questions about new vocabulary he found in a book or how a particular word related to another one are typical of this student, displaying genuine curiosity for the Spanish language. What is most impressive, however, is his ability to infer grammatical rules from a few examples and then applying them to new verbs accurately. Also, in his contributions to class, his ideas go out of the beaten path, and he concocts creative scenarios that then he can explain fluidly in Spanish. Finally, he supports his classmates' learning by taking the time to explain confusing points when needed and spreading his enthusiasm about Spanish class. It is a real honor to present the 2018 Award for Distinguished Achievement in Spanish to our own Finn Verdonk. Felicitaciones.
Ben Wong will now present the Chinese Award on behalf of the World Languages Department.
The award for Distinguished Achievement in World Languages Chinese 2018 recognizes the student who has demonstrated passion and remarkable achievement in Chinese over the past year. Mastering Chinese characters is one of the most challenging parts of this language. This student chose to always write in characters as a personal challenge, even though it is always optional. He also demonstrated a solid command of cultural expressions by using a very Chinese phrase, 丢脸, which means to lose face, when the class discussed welcoming a guest. The China trip ignited his passion for Chinese language and culture, leading him to focus on critical discussions covering economic development and social problems in China for his honors work. Finally, the student has also been a great motivator for his peers, speaking Chinese between classes, after school, and even on Encounter Week in Morocco. The faculty is proud to present the 2018 Distinguished Achievement Award in World Languages Chinese to Kent Vaccaro.
Mark Klein-Lucy will now present the award on behalf of the Research and Service Program.
Research and service has been a hallmark of the Vermont Commons School for 20 years. Equally important to the VCS community is that we continue to challenge ourselves, to evolve, and to experiment. We are moving to a system of community-wide service projects and academic electives next year. So this 20th year of research and service at VCS will be the last. The multi-aged aspect of RNS requires leadership from our older students. It is fitting that this final RNS award goes to a student who has embodied that mentorship ethos at every opportunity. This year's RNS award goes to a junior who was the undisputed mama bear of the citizen science class, Mari Rosenbluth. Well, I'm not done. I got more to say about you. Mari Rosenbluth was a consistently positive, supportive, and engaged student leader. Her ability to encourage and inspire the younger students, all the while modeling the mission of the Research and Service Program, was a constant in the class. Congratulations, Mari.
And lastly, Ben Wong will now present the award on behalf of the Encounter Week program.
For this year's Encounter Week Award, the faculty selected someone who has often flown under other people's radars. Pushing this metaphor a little bit more, Her own radar was always super sensitive and vigilant, demonstrating a big picture awareness that was all-encompassing. She did this on Arts in the Woods in the fall by noticing any way she could help. On the Northeast Kingdom Encounter Week, she did this again as a leader in training, organizing everything and tracking the group's safety and general well-being. She also stepped out front as a leader, running games on the frozen lake and encouraging the younger kids to challenge themselves. As a newly minted full student leader in Morocco, she tracked all expenses, participated in budgeting, became a capable trainer for the leaders of the day, and projected a strong presence that earned everyone's respect. On behalf of the faculty, I present to you this year's recipient, Tess Ruddy.
At this time, we honor two faculty members whose service to Vermont Commons School culminates this year. The word service is key here because the demands of teaching at Vermont Commons School are unlike and greatly in excess of anywhere else. Innovation in instruction, student engagement and collaboration, sleeping in the yurt in January, these are just some of the starting places for being a teacher here. And so when one of our faculty moves on to a new life, it is of great moment for the institution. We shall not be the same without them. I need to ask Deanna Geyer and Jory Hurst to come forward at this time. And chance we have things for them. Flowers for Jory. So we did not have sixth grade before we had Jory Hurst. Now the fact that we have sixth grade is an unquestioned fact, but so is joy and passion, the preservation of childhood combined with the incoming of serious intellectual work. Without Jory, we simply would not be the school that we are now and will be long into the future. Deanna Geyer has demonstrated that the combination of respect, deep, unquestioned respect for a faculty member can also exist in the same person who you know has your back, who you trust, and who demonstrates the greatest compassion to you in exactly the same moment. These are the sorts of exemplary faculty without which the school cannot continue to exist. We don't know what we're going to do without you. We're going to try to figure it out, but we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and we thank you so much for what you've done for us. Thank you, faculty. Each class at Vermont Commons School has a faculty advisor who travels through the years as their so-called core group advisor. Ben Patrick has served in that capacity for the class of 2018, and so we welcome him to the podium to address the candidates for graduation. I understand there will be just a moment of technological things that are about to happen as he's coming up, so bear with us for just a moment. Mr. Patrick.
All right. This is what happens when you have the artist in residence give the commencement address. Thank you. Here we go. All right. Thank you, class of 2018, for letting me advise you for 6 years. I hope I gave you good advice. Congratulations to you all. Self-described and self-defined. This is the title of a piece of artwork by Joseph Kusoth made in 1965. The piece is an installation of an illuminated pink neon sign with the words self-described and self-defined shining brightly in a distinct luminous script. The visual stimulus of contained gas held in a tube perfectly fuels the philosophical invitation. This 8-foot-long pink neon sentence could be installed anywhere near an electrical outlet after you pay the 6-figure price tag for it. You could impress your friends after you install it in your raised ranch in the New North End, or, say, your suburban house in Shelburne. The large pink sign will shine brightly in your family den or living room while skeptical neighbors pass by looking concerned into the windows of your house. You could even impress your friends by telling them the origins of self-described and self-defined. It derives from the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein's treatise on logic that examines the relationship between language and reality. Here he proposes, and I quote, "What can be said at all can be said clearly, and whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent." This introduction to your new brightly lit pink neon piece and your sophisticated allusion to Wittgenstein would undoubtedly silence your perplexed friends and frightened neighbors. You could now leave behind the old conversations about the self-driving electric car that you just purchased, or the app that you just downloaded onto your newest phone with the newest operating system that allows you to order your favorite drinks and food at the most popular establishment without having to talk to anyone. Yes, you could be confident in your new conversation of philosophy and art while this pink neon sign shines brightly in your family room. What you see behind me and beside me is an installation using Kussoth's and Wittgenstein's philosophical invitation of self-described and self-defined. Here, I am forging a new concept involving this paradox of representation. And I know after all the instruction of borrowing from other artists to create new ideas and new visions, my students would appreciate this appropriation. This installation is not pink, and it is not installed in your family room. It is installed in our family room, known as the Commons Room at the Vermont Commons School. It was produced by Ben Patrick, directed by Graham Byers, and the mediums are video portraits of students of the graduating class. As you can observe, each portrait is of a self that is clearly described and clearly defined. Here, the notions of who we are, the notions of how we appear, and the notion of what our meaning is are explored. It is visions of the self coming into being, and it is the self unfolding onto us, juxtaposed next to us, and leaving us. Constantly, the portraits appear someplace different, and the appreciation of this reappearance is always understood and welcomed. The selves are in concert together, supporting one another at any given moment. These randomly generated exposures are real and authentic to the human experience, and likewise vulnerable, awkward, and intimate. Notice as the self appears, the self is defined. As the self is described, it is validated and understood. This installation is not fueled by gas. It is fueled by empathy, the constant tending to the sensitivities of another, the awareness to another, and the appreciation of the feelings of another. This is what it means to be human. In our current climate of rapidly changing ideas and technologies, of shifting truths and shifting politics, tending to the stability and awareness of the self is the most important education one can receive. This understanding of who we are is reliant on empathy. We must have the ability to share and understand the feelings of one another. This is not an algorithmic, automated task. It is a creative, human task. The new interfaces of technology that use algorithms as a means to connect to one another, and the current landscapes in learning seen in some of our educational institutions that use standards as a means to manage the growth of an individual are counter to the empathetic human experience. These learning landscapes incorporate the same stiff desks in stale classrooms with the same cliched inspirational posters with titles like "Follow Your Dreams" next to a three-legged ballerina dancing on a stage of Swan Lake. These landscapes echo the same monotone teaching voice that was instructed policy on how not to leave children behind when, in fact, most every child is left behind. Currently, our landscapes in learning are further deteriorated by social media platforms, the isolation of self, with the illusion of a connected emotional multitude. This notion that the self is indeed alone and isolated is demonstrated and supported in too many fields of our current learning and social landscapes. These landscapes do not adhere to a creative process, but to an algorithmic process, a landscape where artificial intelligence thrives. You see, artificial intelligence is reliant on algorithms for everything that they do. It is all that they have. In case you are not aware, artificial intelligence is much better at algorithms than us. In fact, it took Google 0.33 seconds to come up with 77 million results on a query for empathy. For most humans, even with the help of the best of therapists, the query of empathy could take years to explore with absolutely no results. Now you realize the robots have won and we have lost. As winners, they are parking and driving our cars, taking our jobs, and winning every single chess game. Subsequently, they are introducing us to our friends on Facebook, telling us who to date on Tinder, and linking us to our next wonderful employment opportunity on LinkedIn. Artificial intelligence have all the algorithmic formulas prepared and ready, enticing you in every direction for the next new product, the next new relationship, and the next corrupt politician. These calculations are fast and precise, and not even Dr. Mark Keegan in the physics lab with all his fancy equipment could out-computate them. Again, we have lost and should accept defeat in this arena. This is why the empathetic self and the creative process in education is so important to realize. It is antithetical to the algorithmic process used by the robots. Senior class, have no fear. The robots will not take over and ruin your lives. This is because the nurturement of the empathetic self and understanding of the creative process is what we do best at the Vermont Commons School. We do not formalize these ideas, we intuit them. We do not have you memorize the Fibonacci sequence. We have you study a nautilus shell. We do not give you a diagram of a cat's anatomy. We give you a scalpel, a dissection table, and a cat. We do not force you to read Norton anthologies with their list of prepared questions. We ask you to write memoirs about the time you thought it was okay to take the training wheels off your little brother's bike on that steep hill that you live on in Underhill. The monotonous instruction of transitive versus intransitive verbs in Spanish class is transformed when we transit you down to South America so you can practice transitivity on a warm beach eating ceviche with a beautiful Peruvian family. We are not another brick in the wall. We are masons that provide fulcrums to leverage against the abominable walls that are currently being built. This is to say that the selves that are illuminated behind me will have the ability to think for themselves while communicating with others. They will have the ability to think for themselves so they can speak against the corruption, greed, and lies that continue to fester in our world like some bad primetime reality TV television program. They will make a good decision based on their own moral scruples, free agents in a world of paranoid androids shepherding electric sheep. The algorithmic recipes ensnared in every facet of our being will not corrupt their steadfast resolve to be human and feel the humanity of other humans. Senior class, what you see beside me and behind me is a prototype for an empathy machine that will be used to combat the influence of the robots and all of their algorithms. I know that I'm using technology to influence the consideration of technology, but like Kusov's pink neon installation, this paradox of representation is a valid means to question interpretations of language and reality, and likewise propose a better understanding of who we are. In the future, these visual installations will be everywhere. They will be required in every public space, and the new codes to conduct internet communication will require them to be screensavers on all screen and hologram devices. You will view them before you make your next rash decision in conversing with a fellow human, or in ordering your next product, or in casting your next ballot. If aggressive actions or comments are carried out by other humans, you can ask, Hey, did you look at your empathy machine today? Yes, in our brave new world, all of our portraits will be taken, and there will be a library of every human existing on this planet, every ethnicity, race, religion, and gender. You will look at your empathy machine, and you will never know when you will appear or who you will appear next to. Where will you be? Where will your fellow human be? In the future, while this happens, wherever you are, know that the other self next to you is feeling something. They have something to offer. They are good. Like you, they are brilliant, fragile, tender, always moving. They are wondering what to look at. They are here now. They will vanish soon. Spoken clearly, silently, you know who you are, self-described and self-defined.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. And now we will have a performance by Nick Montaigne and Megan and Candace Hosmer.
Hello. Good. Hello. It's really quiet. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. So, before I start, I just want to say that while writing this song with my sister, the overwhelming thought that I had throughout writing was that no matter what, our class has been through so much academically and otherwise, and no matter what, whether we were annoyed at someone or whether they were our best friend, we had each other's backs. So, yeah, I want to thank Nick Montaigne, my classmate, and Candace, my sister, for making this possible. Hello, friends and neighbors, let's sing a quick song to say we're excited, you wouldn't be wrong. We finally made it, and now it is clear we've all helped each other throughout all these years. Not everyone can be best friends, but we can share this happy end. We don't need a sappy goodbye. No cheesy lines to make you cry. Simple as this, we've known forever. I've got your back, we're in this together. Climbing mountains with trail mix, sleeping under the stars. Countless microwave lunches, debating over cars. And many sleepless nights with math questions on our minds. We've walked through worlds together so many times. I may not be your best friend, but I'll help you to this happy end. We don't need a sappy goodbye. No cheesy lines to make you cry. Simple as this, we've known forever. I've got your back, we're in this together. While planning our futures, I always knew that life would work out for every one of you. I think we can all face the crowd and agree that every senior here deserves their diploma. We don't need a sappy goodbye. No cheesy lines to make you cry. Simple as this, we've known forever. I've got your back, we're in this together. We don't need a sappy goodbye. No cheesy lines to make you cry. Simple as this, we've known forever. I've got your back, we're in this together. We don't need a sappy goodbye.
Thank you, Nick, Megan, and Candace. It's my pleasure, as soon as we get the microphone set for her, to introduce Emma Bell, chosen by her peers to offer remarks on behalf of the class of 2018.
This is going to be a little sappy. Sorry, Megan. Where am I? Oh, it says my name. Okay. A lot has changed in the class of 2018 since we first got to VCS. We were thrown together as complete strangers, mismatched personalities, and weird 7th grade obsessions included. During the first week of school, we wrote letters to our senior selves, and I remember thinking, how am I supposed to know what I'm going to want to hear in 6 years? There was no way we could have prepared ourselves for everything that our future held. Over the years, some people have joined and some have left. Our class dynamic has changed as quickly as our fashion senses, which is a lot. But as we think back on our time together, the one thing that has stuck with my class has been our strong, defiant nature. In 7th grade, my class would eat our lunches on the ping pong tables every day. Every day, those ping pong tables would endure the weight of 10 7th graders and their book bags. We laid across them like we were on the deck of a yacht, feeding ourselves Fruit Loops as though they were bunches of grapes. We were told countless times by exasperated teachers that we would break one soon enough, but we ignored them because even then we were steadfast in what we wanted. Many of you probably don't know that VCS has lock-in sleepovers. That's because we don't anymore. We're the reason why. After we spilled dozens of foam cups filled with water in what is now 203 because of a failed midnight prank, don't ask, the school said, there's no way we're doing that again. We didn't take no for an answer, though, and after months of constantly bothering them, we convinced them to let us try just one more time. At our second and last lock-in, someone put on the head of our flying turtle mascot and chased us around the school in the darkness. We ran through the hallways screaming at the top of our lungs and generally did everything we shouldn't have been doing if we ever wanted another lock-in. I can't say we cared too much, though. We were just living in the moment, however chaotic that moment was. In 8th grade, we carelessly laughed in the face of our previous headmaster when he roared at us about taking responsibility for ourselves. The same year, our class went to Boston for an encounter week together, also the last time an 8th grade has an encounter week together, if you can sense a theme. We caused a level of havoc in Boston that no other class has even imagined since we've been here. In 9th grade, we had the bike trip. We sang the chorus of the Beatles song Strawberry Fields as loudly as we could as we biked through New York's hills. And despite the advice of many adults on our trips, split bottles of 5-Hour Energy amongst ourselves. One evening, we all decided to marry each other in one mass polygamy. and then divorced each other, not even 10 minutes later, because it was a lot of commitment, we realized. The school didn't really care about the last one, but we considered it a statement nonetheless. In 10th grade, we don't really remember 10th grade, so. In 11th grade, we began to recognize the power that we held and focused all of our stress into absolutely tearing apart everything we saw wrong with critical theories, making Freud look like a fraud and Marx look like a moron. We tried to haggle our way into getting senior privileges after the current seniors had gone on project and plotted all of the ways we were going to make changes when we were the seniors. And finally, here we are, senior year. We spent the year making positive changes to the way things are running. We gave feedback, held meetings, and spoke out about what we wanted to see change. We brought back senior leadership, something that we adored in our first years at VCS, and we made changes to how senior internship runs and did everything we could to help next year's seniors get the most out of their college process. And we managed to convince them to let us bring our dogs to school, which is kind of the best thing we've ever done. We've done a lot of things we probably shouldn't have these past 6 years. We've had a lot of talkings to and more than a few angry looks. As we got older, our schemes became more complex. Their purpose shifted from, 'cause we're bored, to this is important to us, which is something that makes me really proud of my class. We went from doing it because it's slightly annoying to doing it because a change needs to happen. Now my classmates are thinking, she's reading way too much into this. We just don't like authority, which is true. And maybe I am. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Our defiant nature isn't a bad thing. It isn't a character flaw. In fact, it's kind of our class superpower. I honestly believe that these people in front of you today are going to make a change in the world just out of spite. Just because we don't like who's in charge or how that law works or the way those people are being treated. We're like the cockroaches of our generation. And stay with me, guys. And when everything around us hits the fan, we're still going to be out there impossibly finding a way to make a change just because we refuse to put our heads down and go along with something we don't like. And we definitely will not admit that we broke the ping pong table, even when 7th grade Bort was lying in the middle of the collapsed pile of wood. Maybe it started with an authority problem, but this fierce, unwavering commitment to what we believe in is the glue that has bound this class together and allowed us to grow into the men and women we are today. Our way of doing things might not be conventional. It might have gotten us into more than a few sticky situations and overwhelmed both our faculty and parents at times. But why our defiance is so important is best described by Howard Zinn. The power of a bold idea uttered publicly in defiance of dominant opinion cannot be easily measured. These special people who speak out in such a way as to shake up not only the self-assurance of their enemies, but the compliancy of their friends, are precious catalysts for change. Even if everything we've done at this school in the past 5 years, even if everything we've done at this school is meaningless 5 years from now, we've still made changes in each other's lives, and that's what I'm most proud of. During the senior hike on Tuesday, we sat in a circle and took turns saying what we admired about each person. To get around the circle took 2 hours, and even then we had more to say. This class of complete strangers has become, as cheesy as it sounds, a family. Every person in this class has made an impact on every one of their classmates. I've never experienced a group of people who admire each other so much and so genuinely want to see each other succeed. So much of what we've done has been purely to help each other reach our full potential. And it's never mattered to us whether you've been a part of our class for 6 years or 1. The biggest change that this class has made is not physical, but you can see it in each one of these graduating seniors. And you can see it in me. And if we committed even 1% of our passion for each other into changing the world, I cannot wait to see what our future holds. Thank you.
I saw an appalling video in the last couple of days where they turned a valedictorian's speech off or down. I listen to Emma and I say, turn it up. Nicely done. Okay. Thank you so much, Ben and Emma. Okay, so we always hear the comment that Vermont Commons School's graduation is long. That's because we care and it matters and the personal touch is what we're about. It's also because we combine our award ceremony with graduation, but this is both the sort of midway or 2/3 of the way stretch, and also this is when we shift to that which matters most. So take a breath, stretch, and get ready, because now is when things really get going. But first, I have a couple of thank yous. Yes, Julie. Thank you so much, Ben and Emma. Before we move on to the chief purpose of this afternoon, I would like to take a brief moment to thank a few people. Special thanks go out to the volunteers who make up our board of trustees, that group that works diligently to sustain the school in every way. And a heartfelt thanks as well to the countless parent volunteers who support our community programs and activities, often in the background, from sports to Model UN and the play, to providing an incredible field day feast yesterday and everywhere else. Many years, the graduating faculty, for decades, you have been the heart and soul of this institution. A truly heartfelt thanks to you for your countless hours above and beyond in selfless service of educating and mentoring young people. To all of those, I raise my hand. And lastly, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the faculty to thank the parents of the class of 2018. And I ask you at this time to stand. For the faith and trust you gave us through this journey, we thank you. While the nature of your role as parent is shifting at this time, I recall, as I do each year, the West African Dagbani saying that when a parent becomes obsolete, a culture perishes. On behalf of everyone here, graduate and faculty alike, I honor you and offer you thanks and praise. Parents again. You ready? You ready? Take that breath now. Okay, let's do this. It is now time for us to confer diplomas on the 21st graduating class of Vermont Commons School. I would like to ask each member of the class of 2018 to come forward one at a time as Dean of Students Heather Moore reads the testimonials written by each graduate's advisor. Heather.
Emma Bell. Emma is a consistently hardworking and caring community member. She has absorbed all that this community has to offer and now has started a path towards service. Emma will pursue a career in the medical field, giving back in the manner that we hope all of our graduates will embrace. Her ability to listen and understand people is both nuanced and wise beyond her years. Emma's senior project was telling. She trained as an EMT, learned to drive an ambulance, and went on calls. The other half of her senior project was partaking in doula work, in which she was able to care for tiny infants whilst their parents slept. Emma has proven herself an engaged citizen of the world, and we can't wait to see what she will do next at the University of Houston Honors College. Samantha Brown. Sammy came to us this year, and yet it feels like we have known her much longer. She quickly embraced this community and took advantage of all opportunities. Sammy joined the volleyball team and gained this new skill seemingly effortlessly. She also volunteered in New Orleans, working consistently and with kindness and openness for all students and adults involved. It has been impressive to watch her find her voice and spread her wings. Sammy's senior project was at Amalgamated Culture Works, and she was given a great deal of responsibility from the start. She completed tasks on real client projects, like making business cards and t-shirts. Just like us, this business trusted her right away to take on meaningful work. Today, she continues to glow with pride and confidence. She will be attending Eckerd College in the fall. Graham Byers. The attendance of 7 Model UN conferences, the honors of a Starbucks Award and a Spanish Award, pursuing travel to Belize, China, Peru, and the Galapagos Islands, extended education in New York City and Los Angeles, California, a National Honors Society member, a varsity volleyball player, an Encounter Week student leader, honors for his recently completed senior project, the second student to receive the art certificate, the president of our school. These achievements speak to the dedication of a student, but not to the spirit of a man that has brought warmth, compassion, and integrity to our campus every day for the past 4 years. Graham Byers has consistently demonstrated what it means to be an excellent student. There has not been a day that he has wavered in his moral scruples or compromised his academic honor. You can see this in the way he holds himself, in the way he articulates his speech, and in the way that he directs his films. It is with this incorruptible integrity that Graham will be most remembered at our school. Thank you, Graham, for your service to our school, and we wish you good courage as you direct films and attend the prestigious University of Southern California. But wait, don't go yet. Graham, please remain standing. On very rare occasions, some of our most dedicated students dig deeply into their passions and explore an area of interest with faculty mentorship and independent work at a high level of scholarship over a multi-year period. Successful completion of a series of requirements and defense of a culminating project may result in a diploma certificate of concentration. For only the second time in the history of Vermont Commons School, a student has successfully completed a certificate in the fine arts. Ben Patrick, will you come up and give him this honor?
Okay. The diploma certificate in the arts is awarded to a student who exhibits a command of the arts by studying the processes in the various Vermont Commons School arts curricula. This certificate recognizes a student who articulates and demonstrates a strong understanding of visual, linguistic, and creative vocabulary in the arts. This student is a committed artist who consistently invents the creative process in and outside of the studio. Artists typically work on their certificate for a course of 2 years, and the culmination of their efforts result in an exhibition of work to the community. Graham Byers has successfully completed the tenets of his art certificate, has defended his art amongst a committee of the faculty, and is thus being awarded this distinguished honor. Graham has been working on film since he was 5, but it has been within the last 2 years that he has been a serious contender in the film world. During this time, he has completed 5 short films, learned film editing skills using Adobe Premiere and Avid, and has studied the creative and social processes needed to complete a film composition. The compositions that Graham creates are high-level, sophisticated, and visually alluring films about the human condition. Graham has chosen the human condition as a thesis and thread for his film as a way to explore who we are and the existential interactions with each other and ourselves. His films are authentic visions of the human experiences connected in sequences of refined and calculated takes of well-appointed sets and actors. The independent, in-depth work of the art certificate transmits a creative flow through the school and leaves a lasting impact upon the academic community. We know that Graham's films will not only make a lasting impact in our community, but upon the larger society. His tenacity is unrelenting. His creative process is agile and calculated, and his compassion is enlightening. Graham Byers has worked hard to defend his art to earn the art certificate of Vermont Commons School, and it is with great honor that we award it to him.
Nicholas Sportsfield. I think the empathy machine says a lot about Nicholas Sportsfield. He's able to keep this sort of spirit about him while being serious that also says, I'm here for you and I've got your back. And even as a 7th grader, he had that about him, which was truly impressive. As an educator, throughout all of his years, watching him grow has been incredible. He is a veteran Encounter Week leader and has helped countless students tie their boots and find their pants for the winter. And I am just so impressed with the strides that Bort has made in the years that he has been here. He's also been on every athletic team that we have here at Vermont Commons School and captained most of them. So we're very impressed and honored that we have gotten to spend both of his middle school and high school career with us. Thank you. Jacob Decatur. A member of the VCS community since 7th grade, this golden turtle has distinguished himself with his academic abilities, his leadership skills, and his zest for authentic experience. Academically, Jacob was a consistent member of the honor roll ranks, and he continually impressed teachers of all fields with his incisive clarity and his hunger for knowledge. Jacob has been a major contributor to VCS athletics throughout his time here as a key member of our basketball, volleyball, and ultimate teams. He was ultimate captain in his junior year, selected to first team All-States for volleyball, and twice selected for second team All-States in ultimate. In addition, Jacob exemplifies the spirit of experiential education and community involvement inherent in the VCS mission. He was a standout participant on VCS trips to Costa Rica and Belize, as well as service trips to St. John and New Orleans. He also served as an exemplary student leader on several Encounter Weeks. Jacob will follow his passion for rich experiences and his capacity for hard work during a gap year, which will include working on organic farms in Italy and trail work out west before enrolling in UVM's Honor College in 2019. Xavier Ferris. Xavier has been with us since the 8th grade. With much tenacity, he has become a confident scholar, a strong athlete, and a leader in our community. Although Xavier showed signs that the sciences would be his area of interest, by taking calculus for honors, for instance, he has also shown many other creative talents during his time at VCS. His acting has been showcased in the school play Much Ado About Nothing, and his memoir writing has been commended by his English teachers. The visual arts have also played a big role for him as well, choosing to work on sports photography for his senior project. Regarding athletics, Xavier has shown outstanding commitment and performance throughout his years at VCS. In basketball, he won the Commitment Award last year, and he was the captain of the team this year. In volleyball, Xavier was the varsity co-captain and member of the Vermont All-Stars team. He also participated for several years in the Ultimate Team, becoming its captain this year and honored with the Leadership Award as well. His vibrant personality has gained him friends of all ages here and abroad. It has been common for him to reach out to the younger kids and be a role model in challenging encounter weeks, as well as in everyday interactions. He was a fantastic VCS ambassador during the Peru trip, mingling with the students at our sister school in Peru, who were thrilled to have him among them. Xavier will be departing this fall to Oregon State to pursue a degree in engineering. We will miss him greatly, but wish him the best of luck in this new step of life. Jalen Gibbs. Since joining us in his 7th grade year, Jalen has truly lived our mission of scholarship, community, and global responsibility. Possessing an impeccable work ethic and intense drive, he has earned high honors during every quarter of high school, as well as receiving the World Language Department Award for Spanish. He has been a member of the National Honor Society, spearheading and participating in several service projects with the group, including food drives and the Spectrum Sleepout. He has also served as a volunteer at the Echo Lake Aquarium and Science Center, and during his senior internship, worked at the Ed Weed Fish Hatchery in Grand Isle. Jalen was the varsity co-captain, 2-time Vermont All-Star, and winner of the Commitment Award for the volleyball team. He participated in 14 Model UN conferences, served on Student Senate, and was a student leader for Encounter Weeks, traveling to, among many other places, the Galapagos, Belize, New Orleans, and Peru. He returned to Peru and our sister school for his senior project, assisting with science classes and earning honors for the work he did there. During his 6 years with us, Jalen has earned the respect of faculty and students alike, as evidenced by his receipt of the Starbuck Award. Duke University is now the fortunate institution that gets to count Jalen as one of their students, and we wish him the best as he pursues his passion for marine biology and Spanish there. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments, Jalen. Megan Hosmer. Megan joined our community in her 8th grade year, immediately impressing everyone with her curiosity, kindness, conscientiousness, and powerful writing skills. Over her time at Vermont Commons, she has emerged as a leader both in the classroom and out of it. Hers is a confident and valued voice in discussions and group projects, as well as on Encounter Weeks. She was a member of the cross-country and volleyball teams, participated in several Model UN conferences, and was a member of the National Honor Society. First experiencing international travel in 9th grade on the Shakespeare England trip, Megan went on to partake in the Ireland Encounter Week and to spend part of her senior project in Peru, where she worked with a school nurse at our sister school in Peru. In the last week of the project, she shadowed a trauma surgeon at the burn unit at UVM Medical Center. Throughout her years at Vermont Commons School, Megan has been a kind, supportive classmate, mentor, advocate, and friend. And as a senior, she welcomed her sister Candace to our community with open arms. Megan will be attending the University of Massachusetts at Amherst in the fall, where she will be pursuing her dream of becoming a nurse. Congratulations, Megan. We are so proud of the person you have become and cannot wait to hear about the next part of your journey. Eliza Jackson. Eliza has worked relentlessly since she joined our community. She has grown to be a leader, and this could be demonstrated in a variety of ways. Eliza is an NHS member, a varsity co-captain for volleyball, and has student-led a wide variety of encounter weeks. Most notably, Eliza has participated in and student-led the China trip. Last year, as testament to her hard work and love of the language and culture, Eliza was awarded the Departmental Chinese Award. She also sits on the Encounter Week Committee and boasts 7 Model UN forums from Dartmouth to Brown to UPenn. Her ability to set the bar high for herself will serve her well next year at the University of Oregon Honors College. Anna Kusro-Lair. Anna joined our community in her 8th grade year, and we were soon treated to the pleasures of her beautiful writing as well as her deep love of literature. Over her time at VCS, she has produced brilliant essays, poems, memoirs, and short stories, and attended both the Breadloaf Young Writers Conference and the Iowa Young Writers Studio. She brought the skills she learned in these communities back to VCS, developing her singular writing voice, as well as facilitating a poetry workshop for her classmates. During her senior internship, Anna continued to pursue her passion for the written word as an editorial assistant at the Green Mountains Review literary magazine. She served as the president of the National Honor Society, has organized and participated in several Model UN conferences, and was a student leader on Encounter Weeks, including the 6th grade fall trip and another in which she successfully co-led a group of skiers over 9 challenging miles of the Catamount Trail. Besides writing, Anna's other passion is working with horses. She spent her senior project learning the ins and outs of keeping a barn of 18 horses running smoothly and working towards earning national certificates in horsemanship. Anna will bring her love of literature and writing to Colgate University in the fall, where she has been accepted to the prestigious Benton Scholar Program, where she will focus on leadership and global themes. Congratulations, Anna. Nicholas Montaigne. Nick began Vermont Commons School 6 years ago as a young musician, outdoor enthusiast, and engaged student. He has participated in all our school has to offer, including musical events and traveling to Belize and China. His poetic and creative mind have lent an inspiring rhythm to conversations in the classroom and on trips in the local field and abroad. These rhythms have made our school a better place. The cadence of humor in the classroom, the patterns of nature inspiring others, and the sequences of safety as he prepares others for the elements of the outdoors. Nick's intervals of inspiration have been demonstrated by his athleticism as a spirit captain on the ultimate frisbee field and an award-winning varsity basketball player. We know this internal metronome will help Nick as he pursues his dream of working in nature and helping others. What better place to listen to this rhythm than near the North Shore Mountains while Nick attends the University of British Columbia in the fall. Bryn Mills. Bryn has been a constant source of kindness, light, and laughter since she joined us in her 9th grade year. A lover of the friendships created through theater productions, she played parts in Our Town, The Crucible, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, and this year's Black Coffee. Bryn was a beloved cast member who always helped her fellow actors learn their cues and lines. Her commitment to the VCS players is evidenced by her receipt of both the Ensemble Spirit and Stage Leadership Awards. She was also the volleyball manager for 2 years, the first of any manager of a VCS sport to earn a varsity jacket. She traveled to Acadia, the Galapagos, St. John, and Ireland, among other places on Encounter Weeks, and was a joyful, curious, and engaged member of every group. She has been a friend and mentor to her classmates and to underclassmen, modeling her respect and care for others in everything she undertakes. For her internship, she learned about advertisement production at Mount Mansfield Media. During her senior project, she worked as a teacher's aide at Ferrisburg Central School, assisting elementary-age students with special needs. She will be attending Champlain College in the fall with a plan to study developmental psychology and the long-term goal of becoming a child and family counselor. Those future children will be so lucky to work with Bryn, as lucky as we have been to have her as part of the VCS community. Nicholas Filippo. A relatively recent arrival to VCS, in Nick's 2 years as a flying turtle, his playful spirit has brightened many of our days. His enthusiasm and energy are infectious both on and off the basketball court, where Nick boasts 2 years as a varsity player. This year, Nick quickly won the hearts of the staff at Orchard Veterinarian Hospital, where he completed his senior internship. His work has paved the way for other students interested in animal sciences, as veterinarians at Orchard would love to have other VCS students come in the future. He has proven to be a helpful member of our community, volunteering in New Orleans for Habitat for Humanity during his final encounter week. This fall, Nick moves on to the opposite corner of New England, where he will attend the University of Rhode Island as a pre-veterinarian science major. Matthew Rambone. Matt Rambone has been driving back and forth from Georgia, Vermont for 4 years to attend Vermont Commons School. This is a good thing because he loves driving cars. He has replaced his intake, outtake, the headers, and has applied a fresh coat of black paint on his car after fashioning gold rims on a lowered chassis. This whip has This whip has brought him to the court to win varsity basketball games, to the airport so he could fly to China, and to our parking lot here at VCS so he could be on time for Jennifer's memoir class. Our own memories of Matt consist of a student who took a different route so he could become a better student and pursue a path that leads to a life of prosperity and goodness. We will remember a boy who is kind and wants to help others, and a man who deserves recognition after driving countless hours in inclement conditions to pursue his dream of becoming a better student so he could attend an institution of higher learning. All of these hours of work have paid off, as Matt Rambone will attend the University of Vermont this fall. Beckett Richardson. Beckett arrived at Vermont Commons for 9th grade and quickly established himself as an academic powerhouse, opting for contract honors in 17 classes, taking a total of 8 AP exams and winning the Science Department Award last year. He also found time to pitch for Harwood Union's baseball team, attend 9 Model UN conferences, play with the Green Mountain Youth Symphony as a violinist, ride in horse competitions, teach skiing at Mad River Glen, and serve on the National Honor Society and as a peer tutor. Beckett also grew from a quiet kid with a special knack for puns to a leader for his class and as a student leader on encounter weeks, where he pioneered the winter bushwhacking offering. Beckett had opportunities to experience law firsthand at Langrock Speary & Wool as his senior internship last fall, and in the spring delved into investment industry in the Trust Company of Vermont for his senior project. He will enroll at Dartmouth College this fall, where he will win many new fans and also throw off the curve a bit in the fields of economics, government, and environmental science. And we here will miss him dearly. Cameron Starkey. After transferring to Vermont Commons School halfway through her sophomore year, Cameron Starkey quickly established herself as a talented and fearless student. Cameron's abilities in math are exceptional, her interest in science is strong, and her passion for justice shone through in every social studies class discussion she had. Cameron has an unwavering and fiery belief that human beings should treat each other and the planet we inhabit with kindness and respect. She is an activist in the truest sense of the word, unafraid to raise her voice when she hears or sees injustice. Cameron is also determined to explore and know her world better. She traveled with Vermont Commons School every opportunity she had. From the jungles of Belize, where she found a love for plants and wild animals and a place that felt like home, to Lima, Peru, where she found a new family, to New Orleans, where she went to work helping a community recover from the devastations of Hurricane Katrina. Cameron is an accomplished Scottish Highland dancer and was awarded a Certificate of Merit and Scholarship by the British Association of Teachers of Dancing. For her senior project, Cameron decided to explore her interest in botany, working with a local organization to learn about plant care and arrangement, as well as assisting in horticulture research at the University of Vermont. We will remember Cameron for her incredible kindness and compassion and her willingness to speak truth to power. Cameron will attend Goucher College in 2019 after taking a gap year to adventure and explore the world.
Hi, Ari. In our tradition at Vermont Commons School, we confer upon each graduate a walking stick, symbolic of the journey each member of the class has taken through their time here and of the trail before them. We wish our graduates a safe yet challenging, healthy and productive, joyous and giving road ahead. Graduates, please stand while your advisors present you with your walking stick. And graduates, please remain standing. All others may be seated once you've distributed the sticks. There are many favorite parts of the day, but this next one is my most. Seniors, thank you for all you have brought us. We say goodbye knowing that you take with you the very essence of our school, our values, our spirit, and everything for which we stand. Acting on the recommendation of the faculty and with the consent of the Board of Trustees, and each of you having satisfied all graduation requirements, I now declare you graduates of Vermont Commons School. Please move your tassels. After the benediction and recessional, please join us for a reception downstairs. Graduates, please place your diplomas aside for a moment and recess with only your walking sticks. Afterwards, gather your parents and diplomas for a picture before joining the reception. And now for the benediction. May you always have enough light to bring you joy, enough trial to keep you strong, enough success to keep you eager, enough faith to give you peace, enough compassion to care for the needy, and enough courage to change the world.